Almost 80% of the world's millionaires are self-made, and a large part of their success comes down to the tried and tested small habits that they've used to build wealth. And so in this video, I wanted to share 5 of the most actionable, powerful habits that have helped me 4 times my income, that have made me more productive, and have helped me get clear on what I want out of life and cut out the distractions that are holding me back. And the best bit, they cost virtually nothing to implement. Let's get straight into it. Number 1, create the right environment. You may have heard of the saying, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. This is something that I've really tried to apply in my own life because I've seen firsthand just how much the environment that you're in and the company that you keep can impact your perception of reality and ultimately what you believe is achievable. When you surround yourself with people who are kind of just coasting through life, who always complain about how hard everything is, and they always find an excuse or a reason not to do something, it's really easy to get pulled into that same sense of complacency. You start to subconsciously adopt their mindset as the norm. This is just the way things are. But when you consciously make the choice to spend time with people who are a few steps ahead of you, who are trying to do more, who want to achieve more, who are hungry to learn, that's when things really start to shift in your own life as well. Suddenly you're exposed to a whole new realm of what's possible. And I remember when I first started trying to build an online business, at the time I wasn't making anything at all. And then I stumbled across someone who was making 10K per month. And I was completely blown away. I didn't even think that kind of income was possible to make online. And it just opened my eyes to what could be achieved. And then as I kept leveling up my own skills, seeing my results get better, I started seeing people making 100,000 per month, or even someone making $1 million in a single month. And then things that had once seemed completely out of reach for me started to feel more doable when I had more and more touch points with people who have already done the thing. I've really found in my own life, just by surrounding myself with those kind of people who are high achieving, really focused on self-growth, my own belief and sense of what I can do has expanded like exponentially. There's so much you can learn just by being around the right people. They give you so much energy. They keep you going when the journey gets difficult. You could just bounce ideas back off each other and they kind of just understand it. Number 2, read a chapter a day. Even if you don't know any millionaires or people who have achieved financial freedom, you can still get access to your role models through books. And that is why I love reading books that are written by really successful people, because it's like they're sitting right next to you, sharing all their knowledge and their wisdom with you from A to Z. We live in a world with a lot of short-term gratification. You get quick hacks, quick tips on Instagram or TikTok in a 60-second video, but you rarely get to go deep. With a book, you really get the chance to go further on any given topic and really understand it from start to finish. Even if you feel like you don't have the time to read, just stack it with something you already do in your day-to-day. You can listen to audiobooks whilst you're doing something else. You could listen to a book whilst you're doing the dishes, whilst you're going for a walk, whilst you're at the gym. There's so many times in a day where you can just habit stack reading with what you're already doing. And another reason why people don't enjoy reading is because they haven't found the book or the thing that they want to read, so they're not really excited about it. So another thing I like doing, and this really encourages me to read more, is I have a reading list of books that I want to read next and that I'm really excited about. If you have a list of books that you're excited about, whether it's how to find love, how to get better with your personal finance, how to meditate, there's bound to be someone out there who's been in your shoes and is willing to share their wisdom. And if you find that book that you're really excited about, you're more likely to make time to read it. Speaking of making the most out of your time and finding a way to be more efficient so you can do more things that you enjoy, I'd like to introduce today's sponsor, and that is Grammarly. Grammarly is an AI writing partner that has helped me write better, helped me write faster, and it saves me hours every single week. And my absolute favorite thing about Grammarly is that you can download the extension or the desktop app and you can use the tool across any browser that you work from. So with the free version alone, Grammarly checks my emails as I write them on Gmail or on Outlook. It proofreads my scripts as I write them in Notion. And the free AI feature helps me with ideation, with rewriting, and it polishes my writing in real time across pretty much any software that I use. It really makes your writing more compelling and more effective, whilst also staying true to your tone and your style. When you upgrade to the Pro, which is the one that I use, the tool also analyzes your text and then predicts what questions a reader might have whilst reading it. And it then provides suggestions on how to address these potential questions within your writing and write with more clarity by proactively filling in those information gaps up front. So this way, there's far less back and forth and the potential to avoid a meeting unless you really need to, because your writing already addresses the needs of your reader. One other pro feature that I found really helpful is the feature App Actions, which lets me easily grab files from my Google Drive without having to leave the web page. It saves me a lot of time in just toggling between apps. If you want to check out the features I've just mentioned, you can sign up and download Grammarly to use their free AI features, or you can upgrade to Pro for 20% off using the link in my description. Moving on to the next point, and that is pushing out of your comfort zone regularly. Our comfort zone is basically just a self-imposed limit. It feels safe, but it's actually completely holding you back from reaching your potential. When I first started my YouTube channel, scripting, recording, editing one video took me between 30 to 40 hours just for one video. I struggled with writing a script. I didn't know how to go about it. It took me so long to do. I struggled with using a camera, setting up the lighting, setting up the studio. I didn't know how to edit. That in itself took me 10 hours to do a 5-minute clip. And there were so many times where I felt like I really was pushing myself to my limit of competence, and that the easiest thing would have just been to say, okay, I clearly can't do this, and stay in my comfort zone of what I know how to do. Part of me even liked when something went ridiculously wrong, because I felt like it gave me an excuse not to continue pushing. But sometimes you've just got to take an honest view at your life and be real with yourself. For me, I realized like a huge reason why I hadn't got to where I want to be is because I kept finding ways to talk myself out of doing something and committing to something. I kept finding ways to stay safe in my comfort zone. So now, a way that I avoid this, and what I encourage you to think about, is ask yourself, what's one big thing that you could commit to this year? What's that goal or project that you can see through from start to finish that you will commit to no matter how uncomfortable it feels? You'll be so surprised at what you can do when you just commit to pushing yourself to do something that is outside of your comfort zone. Number 4, get into the habit of saying no. A lot of people find it hard to say no, but successful people understand that time, energy, money are finite resources. They're not unlimited. So it's really important to consider whether the thing that you're committing to truly supports the life that you're trying to create. If not, and if it's using up one of those 3 resources, you need to be willing to say no when it matters. Because at the end of the day, your life is just a sum of all the choices that you've made, and all the choices that you made have been dictated by whether you've said yes or no to any given thing at a point in time. Because for every yes, there is a trade-off for something else you can't do. For instance, saying yes to a girls' trip to Santorini might mean saying no to saving money for a dream home. Saying yes to watching another episode of your favorite TV show might mean saying no to putting in an extra hour into your side business that you've wanted to work on after work. When you're faced with a request or an opportunity, pause and ask yourself, does this align with my priorities and the vision I have for my life? It might be uncomfortable to decline requests, but protecting your time and your energy is what you really need to do to live the life that you truly want. And number 5, have a growth mindset. Most people, when they have an idea or something that they want to pursue, they will immediately find all the problems or the reasons why they can't do it. It's like their brain just automatically goes into this defense mode, focusing on all the things that are outside of their existing skill set. And I've seen this play out so many times. Someone will say something like, oh, I want to create an app, but I don't know how to code, and so therefore I can't create this app. And then that's it. It just stops there. They completely shut down the idea without even considering the possibility of learning new skills. But the people who are truly successful, that I found have really made a lot of money or are the most successful in the field, they have this completely different approach. When they have an idea, their mindset is just, okay, I want to do this thing. How am I going to make it happen? What do I need to learn in order to make this thing happen? What are the specific skills or knowledge that I'm missing? And then how do I go about acquiring them to get this thing done? They see every single obstacle not as a dead end, but instead as just another challenge that they need to overcome. And it's all about this shift in perspective. Instead of letting your lack of existing knowledge hold you back, or your circumstances hold you back, or your excuses hold you back, get excited about the prospect of challenging yourself. Almost everything in life can be figured out. The more you start to see solutions in every challenge you have rather than a problem that's stopping you from getting there. So those are 5 millionaire habits that have really changed the trajectory of my life. If you liked this video, you might also enjoy this video right here on 6 habits that made me 6 figures by 25. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Otherwise, I'll see you there.